Great. Well, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity to give you an update. Mike this morning and Matthias just this afternoon have already stolen a bit of my thunder, so I'll be brief also since we're a little over time. Just big picture for the state of Texas, the state water plan developed by the Texas Water Development Board is not perfect, but it's kind of a big picture view across 16 regions across the state of water expectation, demands, current use, needs forecasted into the future for the next 50 years by sector, especially agricultural and municipal, with livestock and mining and some other things. Big picture takeaway that I want you to see here is almost 5 million acre feet per year expected in deficit shortage need by 2030. So if you look in the across the state from a hydrology perspective, the chart on the left shows current status of a lot of water stream flow measurements. You can see a lot of green, which means it's between 25th and 75th percentile, so what a lot of people would call relatively normal. The blue ones and the black ones are wet, and the orange and red are dry. So you'll notice that the stream flow in the Pecos watershed just downstream of Red Bluff Reservoir at near Orla, 10-year average was about 30,000 acre feet per year. If you compare that to some of the requested discharge permits in that area, you know, we're talking about a significant volume of water that could be added to this stream network. And then if you look at the right-hand side chart, it's the current status of lakes or reservoirs across the state, and also including Elephant Butte Reservoir north of Las Cruces. You can see that East Texas has experienced a lot of precipitation, which is common. And so a lot of the lakes and reservoirs are in their 80th to 90th percentile full, which is great. But as you look, you know, to the west, especially west of the I-35 corridor, west of San Antonio and Abilene, it's a lot of orange and red. So Red Bluff Reservoir has come up a little bit in the last couple of months, up to 45% full. Lake Amistad, which is Pecos River, contributes to Amistad, is 28% full. And then Falcon down further South Texas, 15% full. The former CEO, president of El Paso Water Utility, he would look at that and say that's 85% empty. That's not 15% full. So just being realistic, it's dry in West Texas, so we could really benefit from water being reused from produced water. So in case you're not familiar with Texas Produced Water Consortium, we were formed a little bit after the New Mexico Consortium by Senate Bill 601 in 2021, 4 years ago. The leadership team is comprised by faculty here at Texas Tech. We've got a couple of reports that you can look at from 2022, which was more kind of survey and forecasting. And then 2024 is where things started getting a lot more exciting. We've got a wonderful group of stakeholders, many of whom are also involved in the New Mexico Consortium. In terms of updates, one of the things that we've had the privilege of collaborating with New Mexico Consortium on is water quality monitoring, collecting water samples, sending those out to a third-party NELAP certified lab, aggregating those. We've shared a draft with a spreadsheet with a focus group study. Folks who are familiar with these water quality analyses give us some feedback before we develop that into a draft report to share with our membership for comment. And then over the last couple of years, there've been a lot of questions about economic feasibility. We even heard today, um, you know, advertised estimated cost of treatment at commercial scale in the low $1 per barrel range, which is really exciting. How are we going to do that? Well, as Matthias pointed out, you can't really do that in New Mexico right now, but exciting times in Texas. We've got a couple of permitting mechanisms. The Railroad Commission has had for a little over a year now pilot study framework for land application. And then Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ, was authorized for surface discharge not too long ago, and several entities have applied for permits under that framework, and draft permits are being developed by TCEQ. And then just this current or the session, 89th legislative session that just finished, also authorized TCEQ for land application permits, Senate Bill 1145, if you want to take a look at that one. So, obviously it's going to take the regulatory agencies some time to continue developing these. And I know there are a lot of upstream and midstream companies that are chomping at the bit to get a permit. They really want to lock in and understand these water quality effluent permit limits so that we can make sure we design the treatment systems adequately to meet those needs. I think, just a quick comment. Some people have talked about, well, why does it have to be so clean? I think Matthias made a good point just a minute ago. This is a really complex situation. We got to protect human health and the environment. So this is going to be really complex and detailed as we move forward. And so I hope just one point that I want to make is I know a lot of people look at these as effluent discharge limits, but considering the volumes of water that we're talking about, inevitably this water is going to affect somebody's drinking water. So I hope people take the opportunity to think about this in a new way, a new paradigm of imagining themselves as drinking water companies. Even though historically it's been focused on the recovery of a petroleum product, if we're going to release this water into the environment and it's inevitable that somebody's drinking water is going to be affected by it, if we take on the role and mindset that we want to protect everybody's drinking water, I think we've got some wonderful opportunities for this water benefiting millions of Texans. Truly, millions of Texans can benefit from this water. And Matthias, I truly appreciate those couple of million barrels per day that New Mexico is donating to the state of Texas, especially considering this ongoing Supreme Court case, in the Texas versus New Mexico, with New Mexico pumping the bottom out of the Rio Grande on its entrance into Texas. So maybe that kind of makes up for it, Little joke. I can't tell if y'all are laughing. Hopefully y'all know I'm joking. But in terms of ongoing work, we continue to collaborate with New Mexico Consortium on water sampling, water quality analyses. The 89th Texas legislature that just adjourned appropriated us approximately $13 million for the upcoming biennium. So really excited to have opportunity to continue to grow the impactful work that we're doing, especially in collaboration with New Mexico. Advancing state-of-the-art testing to confirm clean and safe water and demonstrate these beneficial uses. I completely agree with the importance of these water quality tests. One of our colleagues, Jordan Crago. Jordan, can you wave so everybody can see who you are? He's one of our key leaders in aquatic testing and works collaboratively with another colleague on terrestrial toxicity testing. Really excited about the work that they're gearing up to do over the next couple of years. I think that's really important in complementing the targeted and non-targeted chemical analyses. And then as we move forward, really demonstrating the value of these beneficial reuse options, crops and rangeland restoration, and how that's going to affect in a cascading domino way the benefits of these environmental services that, quite frankly, a lot of people take for granted. I think we have a chance to see these on full display, show and tell what a restored ecosystem can look like and how powerful that is for our economy. Also excited about critical materials recovery from produced water. We've got a colleague, Madi Malmali, in our chemical engineering department, who's leading a couple of Department of Energy funded research projects in collaboration with this effort as well. So appreciate the chance to give an update. Jordan's there physically, so please grab him if you want to talk about collaboration on wet testing, water quality analyses, that kind of stuff. And please reach out to us, txpwc@ttu.edu. Rye Malden, our project manager, monitors that email address, and we'd be glad to follow up and collaborate any way we can. So thanks.